Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Merry New Year, everybody.
Oh, gosh, there he goes. What's up, party people? It is 2026. It's the year of our Lord, 2026. Now,
we did it.
Most people couldn't tell you how many years there have been in this millennia. I discovered this around like Y2K and shortly after. Like the confusion around which years we actually count and sort of when it's 2001 is like after. Like my kids' birthdays, it's your 15th birthday. You have completed 15 years. You're starting your 16th year. Anyway, Y2K was a big deal. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know that. We were hunkered down with some waterproof matches and canned goods because that's how my family rolled at the time. But, you know,
it was a weird moment of like, is everything going to woo?
How long ago was that?
I suppose it was 25 years ago.
7 years ago?
It's funny. 26 years ago, we'll say, just so we're all good there. 2026. Get used to saying it, everybody. 2026. It's 1/3/26.
I'm going to be writing 25 for a while.
That's how it usually
No,
works.
I've already moved on.
The interesting thing is I just don't write the date as much as I used to.
We're not writing checks.
Yeah. Happy New Year, folks. We are here, and there's real estate to talk about.
I had to tell my lawn guy, the only reason I'm ordering checks is for you. So we need to transition.
Yeah, can we change it up here? Hey, folks, this is the good news show today. This is good news
so
only
exciting.
allowed. Now look at me, AI. Look at me. Look at me.
I'll side eye.
Good news show. Get it together.
I'm here.
He's in a mood.
I don't understand. I don't understand why I'm painted in this light. I'm such a positive person. Hiya, Mum. Shut up. Well, yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody. This is a good news show. Is there bad news out there? Of course.
Always.
Of course there is, but it's not for today.
Next week? Is that for next week?
Nope.
Oh.
There's a lot of really good news, good things happening in the world of DFW residential real estate, in the world of DFW as a whole. I know exactly how to get Ian excited on this show about good things that are happening in DFW this year. So that's what we're talking about. We're not saying there's nothing bad.
Such as?
Stand by. We're not saying there's no bad news. We're not saying there's no hard things. We're not saying it's great for everybody. But today's show is a good news show.
We're focused.
DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti. That's me. It's my show. This is a good news show. So if you're tuning in live with us on radio or on the YouTubes, or if you happen to be catching the podcast episode or YouTube recording, Happy New Year. 2026 hath begun, and we're getting into some very, very good things about DFW. Real quick before we do that, I do want you to know that if you are interested in doing anything residential real estate related, if you want to buy a house, sell a house, refinance a house, do a remodel, major repair, if you just need some advice about some decision making around your home, we are offering throughout the remainder of the month of January, totally free to you, what we call a free strategy session. 30 to 90 minutes sitting down face to face. We'll even buy you a Coke or a water or a cup of coffee to have a conversation, ask any question you want, get our forecast for the year, understand about buying, selling, budget, what's available, timelines, anything related to residential real estate. Our team will gift you 30 to 90 minutes completely free. You don't have to sign anything or pay anything. We'll even buy the drink. And just help you get a plan in place, help you get a timeline in place, help you get some answers or clarify a goal or a commitment for you, a family member, or a friend. All you have to do is call or text. You can text the word strategy to 214-310-0008 or just call us 214-310-0008 or online at toddtremontiteam.com.
Let me tell you about Patrick Gleros and his team. You can reach out to Patrick if you're thinking about getting a mortgage, if you have questions on refinancing, things like HELOCs or anything else mortgage related. Reach out to Patrick. You can go directly to his website, patrickgleros.com. You can start an application right there. You can give him a call, 972-386-1231. It's who we send our friends to, family members to. It's who I've gone to, Todd's gone to for 20 plus years. NMLS number 308804. Let him know that we sent you. He's going to take great care of you.
He sure is. And before we get to a bunch of good news, real estate related and otherwise, I also want to remind you about Trinity Home Advisors. This is the time of year people start thinking about big decisions, purchasing things or protecting the things you've got, or maybe you just kind of have to go reevaluate your insurance and things like that. Home warranty belongs in the conversation. If you own a home, you care about it deeply, and you are not like eager to maintain it. You're not like eager to keep up with it. You really should look at Trinity Home Advisors. TrinityHomeAdvisors.com. They offer home warranties. They're going to advise you and update you and remind you on the basics of maintaining your home. They have what they call a 90-minute challenge all throughout the year. The whole year, all added up together, less than 90 minutes of stuff that if you'll do that, then they'll basically cover everything else. If you'll check a couple of filters, if you'll rinse a few things, if you'll clean one or two little things out so that things don't break, then if things happen to break, they're going to cover those basic systems in the home and make sure that you're protected. They have a different financial model, so they're covering way more than the typical home warranties you've probably heard of that are trying hard not to cover things. And they have an entirely different business model where they want to communicate with you regularly, not like all the time, every day, but intermittently so that you can and they can help you take care of the big things in your house, like your AC or your dishwasher or your plumbing or your electrical, so that things don't break. But if they break, all you got to do is call them. They'll send somebody out. You pay a little bitty trip fee, and they take care of the rest to make sure that things are taken care of. That's Trinity Home Advisors Home Warranties at TrinityHomeAdvisors.com. Okay, folks, this is DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti. We got the full price Courtney in studio. What's up, Courtney?
What's up, everybody? You know, the headlines are saying that we've got some strong headwinds for renters and buyers. That it's like we've got a balanced economy of growth.
If you're not watching on YouTube right now, she's doing a physical balancing act.
It's literally like she's walking into a headwind that's blowing 85 miles an hour
while standing on a paddleboard or something.
Words.
So if you're a radio only listener, God bless you, and we appreciate you. The radio is still alive and well. But if not, you've got to go check out the podcast. Where can they check out the podcast, Courtney?
Anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Amazon.
Or YouTube, you can see the video of her standing on the chair, keeping balance right now. I'm just trying to say that if you're an investor, that makes you a buyer, and it's like a double win. So here's how I would say that. Investors almost always complain. I don't know if you've noticed this. Ian, have you noticed that? Oh, speak to this. For real estate, residential real estate investors, it's almost always like, oh, this market's terrible. Can't buy anything. Can't find any deals. And then in the opposite market, they're like, it can't sell anything. Dang it. Houses just sit on the market. Nobody wants to buy. Nobody wants to pay fair prices. The market that they don't know they want, but statistically that is actually really good, is what you just said. It's kind of the stable market. It's not stable meaning like, oh, everything's predictable. It's very stable. It's stable meaning there's like a balance of supply and demand. There's a little bit of give and take. There's some good buy side deals out there. There's some good sell side deals out there. There's some deals where it's like, well, if I could buy it fair and sell it fair, that's still a good investment. Or I can buy it really well. I'm not going to be able to sell it like break a record, but I bought it so well, it's a good deal. Or I can buy it okay, but I think I could sell, like, there's enough give and take and opportunity in the balance of all of it that it's a pretty darn good time to be a single family real estate investor. If you've never been an investor and you're like, this year, 2026, I want to buy my first investment property, give us a call, 214-310-0008. We'll be really honest with you. And we'll walk you through, like, these are the dumbest things people do when they want to be an investor that makes them never actually become an investor. Well, and there's so many corporate relocations that are drawing new residents. Like, it's a really dynamic market right now. Yeah, that's a big factor for not only like residential, like normal people investors, but big corporate investors too. We can talk about that. Well, investors, the word investors is such like a broad term though, right? So like there's opportunities for all types of investors. There's opportunities for people that want to hold on to short-term rentals, long-term rentals. There's opportunities for people that want to flip homes. There are incredible opportunities and deals out there all day, every day. In all markets. That not everybody knows about. And that's where it becomes really important that you get connected with people that can help you to look at all that and see that, like we can do here on the Todd Tremonti team. Yeah. And if you want help deciding if you want to invest wisely or if there's an opportunity out there for you, we'll just set up a free strategy session with you. 30 to 90 minutes, an hour, give or take, with one of our full-time, fully dedicated, world-class real estate pros. I always say it that way because all of those things matter. You want an agent who's full-time. You want one who's fully dedicated to you, not like they're a Walmart model and they have to have 200 clients themselves and they can't spend any time with you. You want full-time, fully dedicated. You want world-class, of course, and you have got to have somebody that is going to customize their approach to you. They're not just a one size fits all. They have to be an expert and be able to go, oh, well, you need me to do something a little bit different here. So I can do something different for you. And I have staff and technology to help me do that. So you can set up some time with one of those people on our team. Our full-time, world-class, fully dedicated agents supported by an incredible staff and proprietary marketing systems and a 13-point buyer program and all the good stuff that we offer. You can get access to that for an hour or so for free, no expense, no commitment required. We'll even buy you a cup of coffee or a Coke and sit down with you. And you can discuss, I think I might want to flip. We say there's 4 primary ways that what I would say like normal people, not a big corporation, not a big venture capital back, but like individuals and families invest in real estate. There's other ways, but there's 4 primary ways. Now, there's long-term rental, like I buy a house and the family rents it and they live there. Short-term rental, like short-term vacation or travel rental. Quick flips, which people see on TV a lot. Buy it, fix it, sell it fast. And slow flips, which I wrote a book about years ago. We call it a 2-year flip, where you buy a home, you live in it, you remodel it, you get to live in a completely remodeled house, and then you sell it with a tax benefit of completely 100% tax-free profit, up to $250,000 as an individual or $500,000 as a married couple. I don't know any other way legally or this normally that you could make hundreds of thousands of dollars and pay no tax on the profit. So that's the 4 normal ways. We can sit down with you in a free strategy session and just go, hey, this seems like that's more of the approach that makes sense for you and your family or your budget or your timeline or the amount of energy you have or your knowledge or whatever. And that can evolve over time. But we can set you up with a free strategy session right now. Just call or text 214-310-0008 or go to toddtremonteteam.com.
I was talking with some of the agents that we coach around the country within the last week or two. And one of the things we were talking about is, hey, how do you answer the question when somebody says to you, hey, what's the market like right now? Yeah. Right. And so I was walking through them, some of the ways that they can answer that. But it made me think about, as we're thinking about like good news and positive things, when I think about what this next year is going to be, I'm going to take a look back on what last year was. Yep. Right. And the second half of last year is when we as a company, as a team, did the vast majority of our business.
Over 82%.
Because we saw things changing in the marketplace. We saw buyers becoming more optimistic because inventory was going up and that the Fed was cutting the Fed rate, which had an impact on mortgage rates. We saw sellers that were becoming more realistic and more aware of what today's market is, as opposed to thinking what it was back in 2020 and 21. And I think the positive piece of all of that is it created more excitement and buzz in the marketplace, even though there was more inventory for people to go look at. And that's where like you get into the danger piece of it, right? Because buyers can have too much to go and look at. So then they start getting confused about what to go and see, and sellers get kind of they can become unhappy if they're not informed of what's going on with the showings on their home. But the upside is there was more action happening and more things happening towards the last half of last year. And I think that's going to continue as maybe we do see some more Fed cuts. Maybe we do see some mortgages coming down a little bit. What are we at? Like low 6 to 6.25-ish right now, depending on what you qualify for. Maybe we get into the 5.75s again. I think if you see that 5 number without having to do a buy down, now you're going to start seeing people getting really excited again. It just feels like people have become more realistic and have settled and realized, okay, it's taken 4 years to get over what it was in 2021. I'm over that. I realize that's not going to be the case now. I think it's going to be a really, really positive year in 26.
Courtney, come on.
Honestly, I loved it.
Listen.
He didn't stand on his chair, but...
No, you're right. There was room for improvement, but he nailed it.
I'm the opposite side to you, so it's tailwind.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. listen, we talked about this many times on this show. It pains us to give each other compliments, but listen here. Can you imagine saying what you just said 10 years ago?
I mean, I could have made something up.
No doubt you could have made something up. You would have just been bizarrely incorrect and harmful to people. But I couldn't be more proud of our real estate team and the expertise that people bring.
Yeah. Sometimes
they bring it in a wackadoo, have a good time package, and different people, different backgrounds, all those different things, we celebrate that as well. But that was like an incredibly informative, fairly compact, concise observation of why the market is more optimistic right now than it was this time last year, that a listener to a real estate radio show, podcast, YouTube channel, wherever you're catching us right now, can really, really benefit from. So if you happen to be catching us live on radio right now, I really want to encourage you, open up whatever app you get podcasts on and make sure you're subscribed to DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti. And when this live radio show hits as a podcast episode in the next week or so, go back and re-listen to that and share it with your friends that are like, I don't know if we should buy or sell this here. It's a really, really good snapshot of what's happening in the market right now. Then, if you or they want a deeper conversation, the agents on our team, Ian's a licensed agent, but he's a team leader. He leads the administrative team and our agents, of course. But our agents are out there doing this all day, every day with buyers and sellers, and they can give you an even deeper dive on your situation. For example, when somebody asks, how's the market? Our normal response is, well, do you mean the market in and around where you live or what you're doing? Or are we talking about the market as a whole? Are you just curious? Are you thinking about taking some action? Because market can mean a lot of different things. But if you have any, curiosity about buying, selling, investing, remodeling, needing a vendor, go ahead and sign up for one of those free strategy sessions and you'll get a customized deep dive with an agent of what Ian just gave everybody. He was giving a broad-based general comment. It was excellent, but you could get a deep dive, excellent, customized for you, your family, your finances, your situation, your location, your timeline for free. And one of our agents will buy you a cup of coffee or a Topo Chico, whatever you're into. It would be silly not to take advantage of that if you have any real estate goals this year. So as we get into the year, people are thinking about New Year's resolutions, big goals, big commitments. Can I achieve that? What do I need to do to start moving towards that? All of those are appropriate reasons to take on a free strategy session from the Todd Tremonti home selling team. And I promise you'll enjoy it and it'll be worth your time. Just call or text 214-310-0008. You can text the word strategy, 214-310-0008. You can just Google my name or you can go to
ToddTremontiTeam.com.
All right, so this is the good news show about DFW real estate. Courtney, I know you got a bunch of headlines, a bunch of things that you're looking at over there. Inventory is one of the good news pieces, especially if you're a buyer in our market right now. There's headlines and data and reports everywhere that we have what we would call a balanced inventory in our market. Usually somewhere below 4 or 5 months of inventory, we think of as a seller's market. And the lower you get, the less available homes, the more of an extreme seller's market it is. So we're at the very top end of what might be a seller's market in most areas, around 5 months. So 4 to 6 or 5 to 7 is sort of that balanced give and take market. And anything over 6 or 7, there's a range because it depends on where you are. Anything over 6 or 7 is becoming a clear buyer's market where there's so many homes on the market, the buyers have the leverage. But we're in that 4 to 6, 5 to 7, we'll just call it 4 to 7 range, which is not like perfectly balanced, but there's some give and take, some buyer advantages, some seller advantages. That's where we are. And that's actually one of the best things buyers have seen in a long time.
10 years. It's the most inventory that we've had on a whole in DFW in 10 years.
Which is another way of saying we've been in a seller's market of different layers of extreme for a decade.
Yeah.
Right. And I would argue most of my career, we've been in a seller's market. And I've been doing this license since 2003 and, in the game of buying, selling, and flipping since 99. There have been some buyer's markets in there, but they've been very short-lived. And we're not in one right now, but there are some pockets of DFW that are. That neighborhood, that block is a buyer's market. So, but what we're talking about is inventory, and it's an indicator, it's a driver of the type of market we're in. And we are in a market right now where, generally speaking, on average in almost all areas, we're in sort of that middle ground give and take market, which is really good for buyers. For renters, it's given a little relief. Rents are not cheap, but rents were climbing so fast during the post-COVID run-up that they've kind of flattened out and stagnated and even dipped back a little bit. There's been some increased development. There's been a little bit more inventory of rentals out there as well. So it's not like I only have one left. This is what you got to pay, take it or leave it. There's a little bit more opportunity to shop around. They're not necessarily getting a lot cheaper, but they're not going up every single month, kind of like they were. And then on the sell side, this isn't a bad thing, although it sounds like a buy side advantage or a renter's advantage. It actually allows sellers, especially if you're selling and buying, a little bit of time to think, a little bit of time to be strategic, the ability for your input, your work, your timing, your wisdom in hiring the right agent and marketer can have a disproportionate impact in the marketplace. It's not like, well, it's just going to get what it's going to get. It was never that. Your home was never just going to sell for whatever. But in a staunch seller's market, sellers begin to believe that. Like, I'm going to get max price no matter what. And actually, lots of sellers leave a lot of money on the market, on the table. In a market like this, sellers and their agents can have real impact on the experience of the buyer, on the negotiation, on the outcome, on the price. And that can be huge for sellers. So the news for buyers and sellers, and of course, people doing both in this market right now is very good. We already acknowledged at the beginning of the show, of course, there are some things that are not perfect or ideal, but there's just a lot of good news right now. Ian.
Yes.
World Cup.
Yes.
Is that good news this year for DFW?
Oh, it's great news, Todd.
Now,
England, Croatia.
I know as an English football fan, especially the borough, up the borough.
Yeah, doing well.
You're excited about that. But
cannot wait.
What is generally speaking, what does the World Cup do for the local economy where the World Cup is?
Well, if you think about it, I mean, I'll give you this number as to how popular this is. I saw a number the middle of December that said for the final tickets being released for public sale.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind that the draw doesn't end until you can apply until January 13th or something like that. But after the first few days, they'd already had over 20 million applications.
Yeah, because people from all over the world wants to be in, not just DFW. The World Cup's all over Texas, right? It's in multiple.
It's over the U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
Yeah,
we have 9 games here in Texas.
Yeah, North America.
In Dallas.
DFW has as much or more than any other single location. Yeah, but the point is, think about when the Super Bowl comes to a city and what it does for the economy. It drives tourism and restaurant revenue and tax revenue and travel revenue and all those things.
And this will be bigger than that.
This will be multiple Super Bowls.
Yes.
Just the part that's here in
each
DFW.
individual game will be multiple Super Bowls. That's how many people will come to the city.
And they'll come to watch it on TVs.
They're coming to be a part of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's going to be incredible.
So that alone, if you're looking for DFW real estate good news, the World Cup alone, much less the ranking lists and the mortgage rates and the inventory and the pace of buying and selling. I just wanted to throw that in there as first of all, it feeds Ian's soul.
Wednesday, June 17th, England, Croatia. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
I won't be at work that day, by the way.
I'll root for England on that one.
I'll be out that day.
If you were here,
probably
you wouldn't be here, if you know what I mean. Hey, folks, if you're even remotely thinking about buying or selling a home in 2026 or beyond, or a friend or a family member or a kid or grandkid or grandparent or whatever, anybody you care for that is even thinking about buying or selling a home this year, you cannot start this conversation too early. We're offering you a free 30 to 90 minute sit down. We'll even buy you a drink. 214-310-0008. Online at toddtremonteteam.com, or just Google my name, Todd Tremonti. Spell it as best you can. Check out over 800 5-star reviews, and we'll talk to you very soon. What's up, party people? Thanks for hanging with us through the break. Happy New Year. Man, I hope you got big goals, big commitment, big optimism about this year. Whether last year was your best yet or a bit of a struggle, that's the way years go, it seems. There's some good and some bad, but man, this year, there's reason for optimism, especially in Dallas-Fort Worth. We live in one of the greatest places you could live on the planet, a place with opportunity, a place with resources, a place with people that genuinely care for each other. Of course, there's some cruddy stuff too, but lots to celebrate. I hope you've got big goals, big excitement. If there's anything that I can do or we can do to help you and your family, obviously, especially if it's related to your real estate. But we've got big goals this year too. We are looking to help hundreds of home buyers, home sellers, especially you, your friends, your family, your neighbors, your coworkers, anybody you know that is living or wants to live on a big backyard property. Anybody that you know that's thinking, man, I'd like to have a big half-acre backyard or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 acres. We want some room out there to roam, room for privacy, room for fun, room for entertaining. That is one of 2 things that we really love and are wildly and uniquely resourced to help people with. So just plant that seed in the back of your brain right now. And from now on, if you hear anybody that's like, we kind of want a bigger backyard. We'd love to have a property with a pond. We'd like to have a bigger garden. We'd like to have a place for the RV. We want to have pickleball court, anything like that. When you hear somebody say, hey, we're interested in buying or selling a home with a bigger yard, a couple acres, some animals, anything like that, that's what we do. We specialize in that. We love doing it. That's actually how my personal home, and I love that as well. And you can just save this phone number on your cell phone. You can give it to them. You can call us, hand them the phone. You can do a mutual text introduction at 214-310-0008. Now, the other thing that we really, really love to do is to help people buy homes in those desirable neighborhoods that they've dreamed a little bit about living in. This doesn't mean $10 million homes, but it means the neighborhood where their friends are, the neighborhood where the school is they want to be in, the neighborhood near the office, the neighborhood with the great park. It's the neighborhood that they'll be really proud and really happy to be in. And that's different for different people, but we love helping people achieve that aspiration. Not just like any house will do anywhere. We can help you with that. But what we love to do are those big backyard properties and those desirable neighborhoods that you've dreamt a little bit about or was part of your long-term plan or that you're really, really proud to live in. So if you or a neighbor or a coworker or a friend or a family member have that goal in mind this year, we have a gift for you. And the gift is our time. It's our expertise. It's our care and concern. It's what we think is our purpose, that God gave us each unique gifts and abilities. And many of our team members, their gifts are to spend time with people, help them understand and discern their own goals and dreams and needs and wants, and then to set an appropriate timeline, set appropriate budgets, understand appropriate obstacles, and go and achieve those goals of buying, of selling, of living an incredible life, of investing, whatever that may look like. And we would be honored. It would be an answering of our life's calling to use our gifts and abilities and expertise to help you with that. And you can set up some time for what we call a free strategy session to accept that gift that we're offering you by just calling or texting 214-310-0008 or online at toddtramonteteam.com.
Told you for as long as I can remember in 2026. Feels like we say it every week in 2026 about Patrick Leros.
Believe it.
We do say it every week in 2026.
We've said it every week for almost a decade on this.
Long time, but we do it for a good reason, because Patrick's going to take great care of you. His entire team will take great care of you. Whether you're looking to get a mortgage or refinance, you just have questions, Patrick is where you need to go to, is where I go to first. It's where Todd goes to first. Mm-hmm. All of our team, so many of our friends and family, so many of our clients. Head over to patrickleros.com. You can start an application on his website right there. You can call him, 972-386-1231. NMLS number 308804.
Believe it, people. All right, folks, there's a lot to talk about before we wrap our time up today. And if you ever miss any of that, you need to head over to the podcast. I don't know if you do Apple Podcast or you do Spotify or Amazon,
Same.
or you just wait because you like the video and you want to see them all on YouTube. But you can find us anywhere. DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tramonte. Long name, so it's easy to search for. DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tramonte. Make sure you get plugged in, subscribed, downloaded, RSS feed, whatever you do for the podcast and or the YouTube channel. Because there's a bunch of stuff we do for your benefit that's not live on the radio. So make sure you're checking that out. And if you missed anything from the first part of the show, you can catch up there.
We used to have a segment where we dug into your brain? Like, what's Todd thinking about? Do you remember what that was called?
There was a Stump Todd.
Stump Todd.
Where y'all would just throw out a random word right here.
It was kind of
like there was what's Todd reading.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is sort of a throwback to that. Okay. You went to Atlanta last week, and you got to go to the Chick-fil-A headquarters, and I have not gotten to hear about it.
Before that,
oh gosh,
I have a little special game that I've prepared for the two of you on chicken restaurants.
Okay. I really feel like you were doing a great job there.
Thank you.
But he interrupted, and for some reason we're letting him. So
what? I have numbers here, very reliable numbers from a company that put the numbers together.
Sounds reliable.
No, it's pretty reliable. I fact checked it.
Yeah, it's like him not being contagious.
I mean, they have like the top 50 chicken restaurants. I'm going to give you the top 5. I want you to guess though Chick-fil-A's number at the end of this, okay? Because they're obviously
where they rank.
No, not where they rank. How many dollars in sales they did? I'm going to give you the other 4 though. Wingstop, $4.7 billion. KFC. $4.9 billion.
How is this
Raising
possible?
Cane's $4.96 billion. Popeyes $5.7 billion in sales.
In what interval of time?
In 2024.
No.
100%. I am telling you.
Do not accept.
I'm telling you the truth.
Wingstop did $4.9 billion.
$4.7 billion.
Listen, I know they're local, I'm thrilled if that's true.
I'm telling you the truth.
I do like their wings.
I'm telling you the truth.
I do too.
How much money though did Chick-fil-A make in 2024 sales? Remember, it was $4.7 billion.
$88 billion.
Well, that's a little expensive.
I'm kidding.
5.76.
No, it's more than that.
Well, 5.72 was the second place.
Oh.
12.
Okay.
$12 billion.
7.
$22.7 billion.
Yeah. 4 times, almost 4 times.
More than 4. Oh, yeah, 4 times.
Yeah.
4 times second place.
Yeah.
I was stunned.
Okay.
That's why I double checked it. Back to you and Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Again, not really sure. I believe.
Fun game, though, huh?
I don't know that I believe that,
it's reliable.
I hope it's excellent. I hope it's true. Okay, you had done such a graceful job, Courtney, of leading us to that. Here's the thing. I'm a member of a couple of groups. This is a small business owners group. We meet all over the country 3 or 4 times a year. This one happened to be in Atlanta. And I did not know that this was part of it. The guy that was sort of hosting, coordinating this one was like, hey, surprise, tomorrow morning, you're meeting in the lobby at 8:30. We're going to Chick-fil-A headquarters. And I'll be honest, I don't have anything against Chick-fil-A, but it's not my favorite chicken to eat. So I'm not like a bandwagon homer. I go. My wife and kids love it. I go.
Just saying, be
I'm not at all upset about it. But if you said to me, like, Todd, where do you want to go eat? That's just never like my top item. So all that being said, meet in the lobby at 8:30. We're going to the Chick-fil-A headquarters. I'm like, okay, cool, sure, whatever. I'm not like all that fired up though. And you know the rest of the story, right? So we get there and it was really cool. It was really impressive. So let me give you a couple of different levels on which I was glad I went. Number one, the story of Chick-fil-A and how it came to be. A lot of people know parts of it, so I'm not going to retell it. But they had, it started as a company called Dwarf House, which was this little tiny bitty diner that was in between a Ford plant and Delta Airlines, basically the Atlanta airport. So business lesson number one, like make sure you have a product that there is demand for, and they located theirs between a tremendous amount of demand, right? Like the entire Ford labor force and the Delta labor force. But another business principle that I loved is they were really open to the feedback from their customers. And so these people would come over from the Ford plant, and one of their big things was speed. So they had like a 35-minute break on their shift, and they would, eat the food, but they'd also say, man, hey, it'd be better if it had this kind of cheese or there's a little salty or whatever. So that's how the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich came to be. Is Truett Cathy, who was working the grill, would be like, hey, I'm working on this. What do you think? Do you like it? And it's everywhere in there that finally one day their clientele was like, stop. This is it. This is the recipe. And then there's another lesson to be learned about always control your own quality. They started licensing it out to other people and the quality went down. And so they revoked those licenses. And that's how Chick-fil-A got started. We're going to open a restaurant just for this because their original restaurants they didn't have any chicken. Really weird, cool, fun fact, by the way. Delta Airlines ordered a bunch of boneless, skinless chicken breast for their in-meal flights, and they had to cut it to fit the tray. They had all this extra chicken. And because they used to go eat over at the Dwarf House, they reached out to the Cathys and said, hey, do you want all this extra chicken we have? We would give it to you super cheap. And that's how they started just trying to make it. It wasn't like a family recipe.
I do have a question for Chick-fil-A, though.
I don't have an answer because I'm not Chick-fil-A. So we'll move on. Okay.
No, one more question is, why do we not have spicy nuggets?
I don't know. It's they stay in their lane.
Grilled nuggets, normal nuggets, spicy sandwich, no spicy nugget.
The other thing that lots of cool, fun stuff I learned, but because we were a marketing group, we got a little bit of different access. So we get to go on the soundstage where their whole Red Couch campaign is. And no one said this, no one suggested this, but just as I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, simplicity wins almost every time. That whole campaign is, let's bring in a manager from a local store and a person or a family that they know and just tell a story. No sneaky guarantee, no catchy call to action. Now, you can't do that if you're a little bitty business. You have to lead generate and generate leads and tell people what you do. But when you have a big global brand like that and you can just reinforce trust and humanity, which is unique for Chick-fil-A, they can do that. And it was really, really cool. One couch, white background, bring in a manager, bring in a family, tell a story about a birthday party or tell a story about how they help grandma or whatever. And it endears you to a brand because of the simplicity and the humanity of it, not because of the price or not just because of the location. So anyway, those were a couple of cool takeaways. It was a really surprisingly valuable visit. And I can't say, I guess I could say, but I got my girls a couple of little sneaky Christmas gifts from there.
Any samples?
No samples, no food really anywhere. They have a very different work model too. That's not worthy of our time today, but just a lot to learn from a company built by people who love the Lord, but that don't require people who work there to be Christians. And it's very similar to our company. I'm very open about my faith, but it's not a requirement to work with us or for our clients or, of course, anything like that. But obviously it paints the way we think about honoring people and caring for people and delivering value and understanding that has a lot more than a transactional value. So it was really fun. It was really encouraging, and I'm always looking for little nuggets, and so I picked up a few. See what I did.
Nuggets.
See what I did there.
Why would we not have spicy nuggets?
I'm just glad that you
bringing it back.
You really whipped your head around when I did that. So it was fun, and I think you can learn something anywhere. One thing I'll add to that, and let me be very clear, I'm not in any way implying that our company is in the same conversation as Chick-fil-A. But it was heartwarming and encouraging because many of the things they are doing at a world-class level, we are doing or trying to do or learning to do or wanting to do better and better all the time. We just have no desire to operate at that scale. We want to help people at the level of their kitchen table in their home, buying and selling and creating the lives that they want to live. And we consider that a great honor to be there in the gap when people make some of the biggest decisions in their life and to help them do that well, sometimes not to use us. A lot of times to use us to have us help them sell, buy, and make a lot of the hard decisions around that. If you or someone you know wants to do work like that, or that you think your friend would do fulfilling work like that and is wildly intelligent and incredibly hardworking and cares for people and is competitive and doesn't want to work in isolation and wants to run with people, we're looking to hire a few people right away. Let us know. We're looking for a couple of people to get a license and become an agent, or who recently got a license and wants to become an agent. And we will train you and mentor you and guide you into a really fulfilling and financially rewarding and really fun career with the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team. Call or text us, 214-310-0008. That's 214-310-0008. Now, I've got a question for the two of you, if you're open to it.
Always.
Great. I'm going to ask you the question, and then I'm going to give you just a second to think about it while I do something else, okay?
June 17th, England play.
You both live in Dallas, Fort Worth, and you live wherever you live. Here's the question.
Got it.
If you were not able to continue to live in the city that you live in, but you had to move to a different city or town within DFW, where would you want to go? Now, while you think about that, I want to remind people about Trinity Home Advisors home warranties. Home warranties have a really bad reputation everywhere, especially in DFW, because there have been a lot of companies that sold home warranties and then did everything they could to not honor the warranty, to not come out and fix the thing. Trinity Home Advisors is a very different business model. They have a different financial model and they have a different maintenance model. where they are not a lot, but occasionally updating you and informing you of the right ways to maintain the basic systems in your home so that the warranty remains valid. And if something goes wrong, they will come out and fix it for a small trip fee. So they have a great communication plan. There's nothing burdensome about it whatsoever, but they want to help you avoid unneeded repairs and avoid the repairs that would invalidate a warranty. And they ask you to do less than 90 minutes of work every single year to replace a filter, clean something out, rinse something so things don't break. But that's why a lot of home warranty companies don't honor warranty claims. They're like, well, you didn't maintain it. So Trinity is up front and telling you, hey, if you'll do less than 90 minutes a year of just normal home maintenance that you should be doing, then we'll honor almost every single claim. And if that happens, you will sleep well at night. You'll be proud to live where you live and not really have any fear or concern over those damages or breaks in your basic systems in your home. So check them out. TrinityHomeAdvisors.com. Trinity Home Advisors, home warranties. Okay. If you couldn't live where you currently live in DFW and you had to move someplace else in DFW, where would you go? And then I'll go. And at the end, I'll explain why. This is why I think this question matters.
Okay. Well, I want to live in this neighborhood off of White Rock Lake. Is that like
which one? Little Forest Hills?
No, it's called the Peninsula.
Okay, gotcha.
And it is this small little community of just 290 properties. It goes back to the 50s. It is eclectic and so charming. And I mean,
most of those homes were built in the late 50s and 60s as lake homes for in town. That was going out to the lake back then.
Yeah.
Some of those homes were built by, it's not the Corps of Engineers. It's like it was a work project during more than one war. Anyway, I know exactly what you're talking about. Very cool.
Gosh.
And there's a lot of other cool niche neighborhoods around it, but that one is pretty special.
It's so special, and it's got the prairies around it, and like I just love the architecture,
grasslands,
and the wheatlands.
Wheatlands.
All right, Ian, you can't live where you currently live in DFW. Where else would you move in DFW?
Not going as specific as Courtney. I was going to say somewhere like McKinney.
Okay.
I would probably choose is within easy driving distance of a lot of the places we still go to. So the Friscos and the Players and all that stuff. Plus, probably about 20 minutes closer to the Oklahoma border. You know, there's something there that I quite enjoy, Todd.
Lord, this guy.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Degenerate gambler. That's not it. Not it at all. Okay, so I'm going to say Fairview, but there's also a very specific little cross streets in Fairview. It's not really a named neighborhood, so doesn't matter, but it's got some elevation to it. There's probably like, honestly, 5 or 6 streets in this, what would be a neighborhood. And so there's some big hills, they dip, and it is like thick oak forest. So you have big canopy trees. You have these little pockets of sunlight where people have cleared some trees. So it's kind of woods. It's open. It's rolling. Every house in there is custom in a good way, meaning like these are beautiful homes. They're not necessarily big over the top, but they're unique and custom. Most of them are larger lots. Like I would say probably 3/4 of an acre is probably the smallest one, but the biggest one's probably 1.5 acres. I love where I live. But if I was going to move, that would be probably my number one. And I'm not going to pull an Ian and say, here's my number 2 and 3, but I have them.
I didn't do that.
So here's the question.
I didn't give a one.
Here's why we did the question. Okay. I think DFW residents move where they move, but just kind of instinctively and for, of course, logical reasons, schools and jobs and things, they just kind of stay there. And then occasionally it's refreshing when someone's like, hey, kids have grown and gone. We're thinking about selling the house, and we're open to other areas, but we really don't know that much about a lot of other areas. We'll go to the movies over there. We go to a restaurant over there. Because they live in DFW, they don't think about other areas of DFW as viable places to live. And then we find, like I said, that those refreshing people that are like, we're kind of open to anything. The kids are gone or we don't have kids or whatever. And you see they're like, wow, I did not know that was over there. Oh my gosh, that's really cool. We want to live over near all that entertainment and nightlife or shows or sports or whatever. And a lot of us, myself included, you don't really think about that. Man, I could move 25 minutes or I could move 40 minutes and still be in the same general community, but have a very different lifestyle that might be a better fit for me or a better fit for this life stage. So this is just me challenging you to think about other parts, other cities, other towns, other communities, maybe just other neighborhoods in DFW, not to move just for the sake of moving. Nobody really wants to do that, but to move at whatever life stage or interval or next shift in life and think about, man, there might be an area, don't just stay where we are, but there might be an area nearby or not that far away that might just be way better for our life stage or our lifestyle or our budget or our recreational habits or whatever the case is. Obviously, if you're thinking about moving for any reason, reach out to us here at the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team. We guarantee to sell your home over the average price and under the average time. Right now, we're averaging about 7% over the average price and about 15 or 20 days faster, depending on where you live. Over the average price and under the average time, we guarantee that for our sellers. And then on the buy side, we guarantee to save you at least $5,000 throughout the purchase process. And you're hearing stories here with our agents all the time of getting $15,000 mortgage buy downs or credits or repairs or closing cost credits and things like that. So we guarantee to knock it out of the park for you. If you're even remotely thinking about making a move this year, even if you want to think just about another area within DFW, or you want to stay right where you are and upgrade or downsize or whatever the case is, give us a call. 214-310-0008. 214-310-0008. Or just Google Todd Tremonti. You can spell it however you want. It's Tramonte. But if you get close enough, you'll find us. We're all over the internet, over 800 5-star reviews. Read them. Let us know what you think. We'll offer you a free strategy session just to sit down. We'll buy you a Coke or a coffee or a water, answer your questions, see when the right time is for you, see when the right place is for you, see if we're the right fit for you. All you have to do is ask for a free strategy session at 214-310-0008. Now, we've said Happy New Year, but it's still very early. So if you or anybody you know has real estate goals this year, it would be our joy, whether you buy or sell with us right now or not, it would be our joy to help you just get more clarity, less uncertainty, less anxiety, get quality, local, accurate information instead of bogus headline information, clickbait, rumor mill information. Let's get you good info so you can sleep like a baby, sleep well at night, knowing, hey, we're 2 years out, or we're 6 months out, or it's time to go, or we need to save a little bit more, or, oh my gosh, we can get way more than we ever thought. Now's the time. Take advantage of a free strategy session. You cannot start a conversation about buying, selling, or investing too soon, but most people start them way too late. Let's start yours right now for free with one of our world-class agents. 214-310-0008 or online at
ToddTremontiTeam.com.
or just Google Todd Tremonti. We'll talk to you next week, folks. Happy New Year.